Hello,
Good
hello.
evening. Hello.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, yes, you're audible. All right. So we have 11 participants. No, 10 participants. Okay. All right. So let's wait for another 2 minutes and then we will start. By the time, if you have any queries regarding Linux, what is Linux, and if you have any doubt regarding your career or, even selecting the career path, you can just let me know.
Hi, sir. This is Srujana. Actually, I have
Hello.
a
Good
doubt.
evening. Yeah, yeah.
Good
Yes,
evening, sir.
please.
I have in my machine, I have installed VM Virtual Box.
Right.
So in that, I installed Ubuntu as
Ubuntu.
OS.
Okay. Okay.
So now can I install Red Hat Linux in that virtual box or Oracle virtual
Yes.
box?
Yes, you can. For that, you need to have Red Hat ISO installer ISO file, which is like 9 GB or 10 GB file. And
Okay.
then just like you deploy any other virtual machine, you can deploy a Red Hat machine as well. In fact, we are going to today, do some sort of hands-on how to create your own virtual machine so that we have a machine ready and we can start practicing, right?
Okay. In case if I want to install VM player, like
Mm-hmm.
I have seen your videos, sir,
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
So in case if I want to install VM player, like
Yes.
VMware,
Yes.
so
Yes.
can I do without installing this virtual box?
Yes, you can. See,
Okay.
VirtualBox is just another application. Just imagine you want to use a MP3 file, it's a song, right? So to play that
Yes.
song, there are multiple players, maybe Windows Media Player or K-Lite, or there used to be Winamp, there are actually multiple players to do the same stuff. Similarly, to
Okay.
create a new virtual machine, there are multiple softwares. Again, we are going to use the simplest one for now, and going forward, we'll discuss how we can, automate some things because
Okay.
ultimately we are going to practice with multiple machines, let's say 3 machines or 4 machines. So
Okay.
you should know the steps or the methods how you can automatically deploy virtual machines and start practicing, and automatically shut down the machines altogether, reboot, even destroy every your complete lab and recreate a new lab, stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, but we first start
So
with the simple stuff.
okay. So for now, I can install a new VM player also.
Yes, absolutely, no worries.
So is there any requirement, sir? I have a 16 GB of RAM in my laptop. Is that only the requirement, or should I need any thing else?
Um, see, uh, Otherwise, modern day CPUs obviously support virtualization. It's like if you have a CPU like i3, i5 lesser than fourth generation, then it might cause an issue, but otherwise you're good to go.
Okay, I have a i5 core, sir. So I think,
Probably
and
maybe
it's
6, 7 generation, or maybe if it is a new laptop, it's gonna be 10 or 11th
it's a
generation.
12th, it's a 12th generation, sir,
Yeah,
and it's
perfect.
a
Then
i5.
perfect. Yeah,
So I
perfect,
can go
perfect.
ahead.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, definitely.
yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. All right, guys. So we have 12, 13 participants. Okay, let's start then, and let the others join at their own time. Okay, so again, before I start, my name is Amit. I'll be your trainer for this entire course, and this course is Fundamentals of Linux. And we will be learning Red Hat Linux operating system. So if you have question like, why are we learning Red Hat? Why not other? It's because this is the server level operating system, which is, used on most of the servers. Okay, you might hear like Ubuntu is also used, CentOS is also used. That's fine. But with Ubuntu and CentOS, adoption rate is low because there is no official support. But with Red Hat, there is official support. Support in the sense, if you guys get stuck with a server, Red Hat operating system, something is not working, some application is not running, so you can raise a case. You can initiate a support ticket with the vendor, Red Hat, and they can help you. So they have their SLAs, like service level agreement. So for example, you raise a ticket, you raise a case. So the case will have some sort of priority, let's say P1, highest priority. So this problem will be fixed within the same day, if not less. Okay. So these are the SLAs attached to the support. And this is one of the reason Red Hat Linux, you will see Red Hat Linux on most of the servers. Okay. There is another operating system called SUSE that also offers support, but again, Red Hat is the one which is highly widely used. All right. So yeah, so I was telling about myself. So I'll be your trainer for this course, and I have experience, industry experience, like 12 or 13 years of experience. I started off as a developer initially, but switched to Linux operating system, Linux administrator, and then now I'm working as a automation architect. Again, I'm using the Red Hat technology Ansible for the automation part. Okay, so we are going to learn Red Hat Linux with some sort of automation as well, because when you prepare your CV should highlight the core skills like Linux. That is fine, but when we are in 2023, and about Chat GPT, or some other AI tools like Mid Journey. So you need to have some sort of skills like maybe AI, ML, or automation. So we'll start with the automation right now. I'll tell you about Bash shell scripting. I'll tell you about Ansible automation tool, how it can help you. And obviously, we need to cover the fundamentals first. Then we will go to the automation part. Okay. And in automation, you can do whatever we have learned in fundamentals. You can automate those steps, those things, or we can say those activities. Okay. So everything can be automated. All right, guys. So as discussed last time, today we are going to focus on how to install or how to prepare your virtual machine so that you can start practicing. The first step is to get familiar with Red Hat operating system, how it looks like, what are the various options available. In short, you need to play with the GUI. You're used to Windows. Our brains are, trained for Windows. So we need to, do a sort of a cutover to Linux. And why am I saying this cutover? Because if you want to be a system administrator, you need to have that thing in your head that okay, Windows is okay for home, Windows is fine, but when you enter the enterprise world, there is Windows Server, Linux Server, like that. So we need to focus on Linux right now. Okay. So let's go to that slide. Yeah, this one. Okay, so there is a chat. Hold on. Okay, Ramesh is asking, what is the difference between Linux and Red Hat Linux? Okay, let me just explain you in brief. So when we say Linux and then Red Hat Linux, see, Linux is a top level category of the operating system, under which you will see Ubuntu Linux, you will see Red Hat Linux, CentOS Linux, or Kali Linux, Kali OS, that is for penetration testing and all, Kali Linux. So out of this list, actually this list is very long. Okay, out of this list, Red Hat Linux is the one which is used in the industry the most on the production level servers. In short, I can say on those servers where the business application is running and the revenue is being generated with that application. It can be a website, it can be some sort of web app, okay, something like that. So those servers are running, those applications are running on Red Hat Linux operating system. Okay, so when you say you have seen Linux and Red Hat Linux as a two different course, maybe in DevOps curriculum, you will see Linux, and maybe the trainer is using CentOS or Ubuntu Linux, just to give you an idea what happens in Linux or how to run the basic commands in Linux. Okay, but right now you are going to maybe learn end to end about Red Hat Linux. The commands, the basic commands are the same throughout all the operating systems. It's just how Red Hat Linux works, or what differences are there in Red Hat Linux. For example, there is a thing called SE Linux in Red Hat Linux. SE Linux is security enhanced Linux. It's kind of a security module. Okay. And then there is Firewall D. Okay. And what is different in Linux? Maybe for installing the applications, the command is different, like DNF. In Ubuntu, in CentOS, in Ubuntu, the command is apt. Okay. So some maybe one or two differences are there, but again, the overall structure or overall command set is the same. Okay. All right. And okay, Himanshu is asking, can I install web server IIS? You can install web server IIS on Windows, obviously. I'm not sure about Linux, but we can find it out. Okay, we can see if we can install. Otherwise, see, in the course, we are going to install HTTP server. Again, this is the web server for Linux operating system. We are going to do that. And we will try for IIS also. If the package is available, we will download and install. And we'll see how it works. Yes, Regina, you have any doubt?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yes.
here, no, Kali Linux is different from this Red Hat Linux, sir.
Yeah,
Uh,
obviously.
because I see that in networking, we there is this Kali Linux is the word I have listened in networking. So
Mhm.
how this is this used for networking, or it
So
has any other?
basically, Kali Linux is designed, or you can say, most of the networking related tools are pre-installed in Kali Linux. You need
Yeah.
not to, install a Linux, standard Linux, or maybe Red Hat, CentOS, or Ubuntu, and then install all the tools. You can skip all of that part. You simply install Kali Linux, and you can start practicing penetration testing. This operating system is for those who are into security domain, okay, or
Okay.
who are learning, certified ethical hacking. So if you're learning that course, then you can obviously use this operating system to, explore all the tools which are there.
Yeah. Will be the similar commands like whatever we are using in Red Hat Linux?
Yeah, obviously the fundamental is the same. The basic commands are the same. One or two commands may be different, but you'll get to know with time. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's
Thank
not a
you.
deal breaker, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Ashwini, any doubt?
Hi Amit,
Yeah, hi.
would you mind telling me about the Debian version or Fedora version, and which of the flavors come under Debian and which of the flavors come under Fedora? So
Okay. So
it's kind of confusion that I'm
yeah,
having.
yeah. So let me again tell you what happens in Linux is Linux is you can say it's a project. Okay. So
Okay.
as a project, which means the source code is available for the developers to download. So what Red Hat is doing is they are downloading the latest Linux project from GitHub, and they're converting it into a full-fledged enterprise level operating system. Similarly, Ubuntu Debian is also doing the same. Okay. Or maybe let's say Kali is also doing the same. So these are groups. You can just treat them as group of developers who are downloading the Linux project and converting that project into a full-fledged enterprise level product. Okay. So now when we talk about Red Hat, so first Red Hat is doing is it is deploying all the latest enhancement, everything latest on an operating system called Fedora. So basically Fedora is a Red Hat operating system, which is just for testing. Okay. So if you download the Fedora ISO file, you create a virtual machine, you will see most of the things are maybe updated, newer than Red Hat 9. Graphically as well, you will see some changes because in the Fedora operating system, all the latest, you can say, technologies are implemented. Okay, but the downside is it is full of bugs. As I said, it is just for testing purposes. The code or the latest update is tested on Fedora. When the testing is done on this operating system, then the testing continues on CentOS operating system.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the testing is completed on CentOS, then it is finally released on Red Hat, or we say RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay. So this is the last stable product, which is again used by the companies. Companies are also using CentOS, but the CentOS is for the test servers. Okay, it is not recommended for the production level servers because first of all there is no official support. Secondly, Red Hat has stopped the production level development of CentOS. Previously, I think from last 2 years or before last 2 years, CentOS used to be a production level stable operating system, which can be used on servers. Again, there is no support, that is fine, but it was stable. But now Red Hat has stopped the development of stable CentOS, and now they are into CentOS Stream. CentOS Stream is again for testing purposes. You can also use it. We as a student, or as a teacher, to teach Linux or to learn Linux, we can use CentOS Stream. Free to download, free to use. Fedora also, you can just out of curiosity, you want to see what's happening, download, install, and check, experience it. Again, free to download, free to use. Now with Red Hat, you can download it for free. That is fine. But when it comes to use of Red Hat, by the use I mean update the operating system to the latest version, install various applications. In that part, you need the subscription activated. If the subscription is not active, you won't be able to update your operating system or install anything. Let's say you want to install Firefox in Red Hat Linux. You can only do it if your system or if your server is registered with Red Hat. Okay, and it is done with the help of subscription. And subscription is paid. Okay, what do you get in subscription? Companies pay for subscription and they get updates. Okay, they get support. And if any vulnerability is found, if any security loophole is found, it is fixed. So that support is also included in the subscription. Okay, so companies, let's say in my project we have 100 servers, so we need to have at least 100 subscriptions. So each subscription may be $200. So you can do the math. Okay, so this much companies have to spend. This is one level. If the machines are on virtualization platform, then you need to buy for another subscription for the data center. I'll tell you when the time comes. I'll explain you all this model, how subscription works. Okay, so this is the hierarchy followed in Red Hat. First of all, all the code is implemented on Fedora, then on CentOS Stream, and then finally on Red Hat Linux. And we are learning Red Hat Linux. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Shitanshu is asking, what do you mean by installing web server in Linux? See, when you open google.com, google.com is a website. It is coming from a server. Okay, server. What is a server? A server, let me write it here. Hold on. First of all, we need to be very clear about this term server. So if I say server, you might think of hardware, server level hardware, right? Or you might think of operating system, or you might think of an application like a web server. Which one is correct? So it's all about the context. So if I say there are 24 cores on the server, so it means server hardware. If I say I have RHEL server running, so it's a operating system that I'm talking about. But if I say I have a web server or a database server running, so it's the application level. So let me write it here like application. Okay, so server hardware, server level operating system, and server applications. These are three things. So when I say you can install web server, that is an application. You can install the web server application on the machine, which is running on Red Hat, or which is running on some other Linux or some other operating system, maybe Windows. You can do that. Okay. All right. So Himanshu is also asking, Linux has group policy like Windows Server. No, we don't have group policy, but we have central authentication mechanism, which I'll explain you when the time comes. Okay. All right. So this is the story behind Red Hat Linux. And again, it's your choice. You want to learn Linux with CentOS Stream or Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system, your choice. Commands are the same. The only difference is for CentOS, everything is free. You don't have to get any subscription and all. You can get updates. You can install anything. In RHEL, in Red Hat Enterprise Linux, you need to first of all, you know, register your system to Red Hat so that you can get support and updates. But are you going to pay for the subscription? No. As a teacher or as a student, you do not have to pay anything. We will get 1 year of free subscription, which is called developer subscription. Okay. And after 1 year, what? What to do? Do I need to reapply? No. Just simply renew. Okay. So when the 1 year is over, you will see the button activated, renew the subscription, and you can renew it. Okay, so I'll tell you how to get this 1 year developer subscription for free. Download Red Hat Linux ISO and then prepare your virtual machine. So this is the activity for today. Okay. All right, there is another chat. SE Linux and Firewall D are characteristics of RHEL. SE Linux is a security system inbuilt in RHEL. Okay. Firewall D is for the network traffic filtering mechanism. Again, it is inbuilt in RHEL. And there are few commands that we need to know how to manage, these modules. We'll discuss them. Okay. So now let's begin with the activity. The first step is to get the Red Hat ISO. It's a 8 or 9 GB file. And then second step is to download the virtualization platform. You can use VMware Player or VirtualBox or Hyper-V. If you have experience in any of these tools, go ahead, do the installation, no worries. If you are completely fresher, you have no idea what are these, okay, no worries, then stick to the plan or stick to the steps. The second step is to install VMware Player, okay? So we are going to use VMware Player because it is easy to use and easy to install, easy to use without any problems. Your machine will be up and running. Okay, let's start with step number 1. Download the RHEL ISO and register for 1 year developer subscription. Okay, so for this step, there is a link that I'm going to paste in the chat. Oh, I think it did not paste properly. Yeah, now it is. So you guys can just copy this link or click and open the web page. At the same time, whatever we are doing in the class, so there are 3 things like the video, the live class video recording, then the PPT and the notes like this notepad. I'm going to use this notepad to type in some information. So all of these 3 things will be made available to you on the student portal, learn.my.learn.ndeveloping, something like that. Okay, so I hope you guys have access to the learning portal. When you log into your class, you will see the previous day videos, PPTs, and notes. Normally, what I do is I prepare a Google Drive for the batch. Like this is July batch, right? So for July Linux, I'm going to have a Google Drive folder created. In that folder, I'm going to have ebooks, notes, and yeah, that's it. Ebooks and notes. So in ebooks, you will find the complete course PPT in the form of a PDF in advance. I'll upload it in advance. Plus, I'll be uploading some essential books. Okay. Then in the notes are updated every day. So like today is what, 17th. So you'll find 17th July.txt like that in the notes. So I haven't prepared this Google Drive yet. By tomorrow, you will get the link in your student portal and you will see all the data. Okay. Coming back to the notes, to the slide. So let me open this link and let me show you how to register. It's very easy. I mean, you can also do it. You just need to open the link and you need to browse down to the last section of the web page where it says, go get it. Okay. In this section, you will see the first word as download, and it's a link. Right click, open in new tab. Okay, just open the link and it will simply say download RHEL at no cost. At the same time, you see activate your subscription. You can click any of these buttons. Either you click the red one, download, or the blue one, activate. Doesn't matter. You will be redirected to the same page. For example, I'm going to, sorry, I'm going to click on download RHEL at no cost. RHEL stands for Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And the version we are going to work on is version 9. In the companies, still RHEL version 7 and 8 are still in use. 9 is more of a recent version, and companies are yet, planning for the migration. Some have migrated and some are planning. All right. So by the time you learn and prepare and get ready for the organizations, some sort of implementation will be happening, transition will be happening, and maybe you get to work on the latest server, RHEL 9, or not, then RHEL 8 at least. All right. So click on download RHEL. You will be redirected to a login page. And I'm sure you don't have logins or you haven't created Red Hat account. No worries. Here you see the register for Red Hat account link or the button. Click on it. You fill in your details. Choose a Red Hat login. Select a unique username, strong password, first name, last name, email address, phone number, job title. Again, if you're not working, you can select any dummy value. Okay. But if you're working and you want to share that information, you can share it. Doesn't matter. And you fill in all the details. Whatever is mandatory, fill in. Whatever is not, avoid it. Okay, and then simply click on create my account. All right, so once the account is created, you have to again go to this link, no cost RHEL developer subscription now available. The link I pasted in the chat. Open that link again, click on download. Okay, click on download Red Hat at no cost. This time you have the credentials, login and password, right? So fill in your details. Okay, so click on login. So once you log in successfully, download should start within 10 or 15 seconds automatically. Okay, oh yeah, so it says thank you for downloading. It should start. And here it is, the save as pop-up. So you save this DVD ISO. Maybe you have where you have at least 10 GB free. So just save it, and it's going to take some time, obviously. So once the ISO is downloaded, the next step is to download and install VMware Player. Okay, so before this, I told you like if you want to explore CentOS, you can also download it. And here is the link for the CentOS. Oh, sorry, let me do it again. Okay, so it's your wish. You want to practice Linux with CentOS. It's okay. Okay, it's not working. So let me use the updated one. Go to google.com, type CentOS download. Click on the first link, download. And we need to use CentOS Stream version 9, the latest one. And for 64-bit architecture, simply click on it. And here it is. This is the download link. Let me copy and share it with you. All right. Let me update the PPT as well. So this is the latest one. All right. Next step is to download and install VMware Player. Okay, so the link is here. Simply click on it. In fact, you can just simply Google and type VMware download. It will still, show you the download page. Okay, so let me share the latest link. This is the latest link. Okay, so make sure you have 16.2.5 version selected. And from this section, the bottom section, and I'm sure you guys are using Windows machine, Windows laptop, you can just simply download the first one, okay, which is for Windows. Click on download and the download should start automatically. All right. So once you have this downloaded, you're good to go. Any doubts till now? Yes, Ashwini.
Hi, Amit. I'm trying to download the ISO file,
Mhm.
and it is showing somewhere around 8.9 GB.
Correct.
So, is it the correct file or?
Yes. It is 8.9 or close to 9 GB file. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So once you have these two files ready, these two maybe application and the ISO files ready, then we need to start with the installation of VMware Player, which is really simple. Simply double click on the exe file which you have downloaded. Next, finish. Maybe it will ask you to reboot the system, reboot it. And once it is rebooted, go to the start menu, type in VMware Player. Okay, so this is the home page of the VMware Player. Also, let me check few things. Yeah. Okay, so this is the home page. On the right hand side, you see some options. On the left hand side, if any virtual machine is created, it will be listed here. If not, it will just simply say home. Okay, right now I don't have any machine, so there are no virtual machines listed. So now we need to create a virtual machine right now. Click on create a new machine, create a new virtual machine. Okay, so this is the wizard with multiple options. We need to select the hard disk, the configuration and all, everything. So on this page, do not select the ISO file immediately, because if you select the ISO file, the VMware Player has a smart installer which is going to identify the operating system automatically, and it will start the installation. You will not get to know how the operating system installation happened. We as a system administrator, we need to know how this works. Okay. So we need to select the third option. It says, I will install operating system later. Right now, we just need to create a blank machine without any operating system, a blank virtual machine with maybe 2 CPUs, 4 GB RAM, something like that. Okay, so next, click on next. Now just give this information. What are you going to install? So I'm going to install Linux, which is Red Hat 9 64-bit, which is automatically selected. Okay, click on next. Give it a name, give your machine a name, let's say July Linux. And if you see in the location, C drive is used. For me, it's okay. I have 200 GB free in C drive. I'm not sure about you guys. You can select the the destination or the location as per the free space available. Okay, just click on browse and select the appropriate location. For me, C drive is fine. Click on next. Specify the disk. So I need at least 20 GB disk on the virtual machine. So 20 is again by default selected. If you wish, you can have like 30 GB, 40 GB disk, but again, that is useless. 20 GB is more than enough. Click on next. And here you see customize hardware. Just simply click on it and check how many CPUs are selected, how much of RAM is selected. So on the memory, you see 2 GB is selected, but I think 4 GB should be there. If your laptop has 8 GB RAM, then what? Keep it as 2 GB. Okay. If your laptop has 16 GB RAM, use at least 4 GB. Okay. Then processors, 2 is more than enough, and rest is okay. Click on close and then click on finish. So this way we are going to create a blank virtual machine. It doesn't have any operating system. Do not start this machine because it will fail. It will say bootable media not found, something like that. No operating system found, right? So next step is to load the ISO file and then power on the machine and start the installation process. All right. Right click, settings, right click on the machine you created, go to settings. And in the settings, you will see CD DVD. Click on it. This is the DVD drive, virtual. Now you click on use ISO image file and browse the image file, like the 9 GB one which you downloaded. So for in my system, it is inside. Just a second. Okay, it's here. It's inside D downloads, RHEL base OS 9, something like this. This is the ISO file which I downloaded, right? And then simply click on OK. What are we doing? We are just adding the ISO file in the CD-ROM. That's it, DVD-ROM. Okay. Now we simply click on play the virtual machine, or even right-click power on. Two options are there. Okay. Click on play the virtual machine. Sherwin is asking which VMware version to select. You can select the latest one. 16.2.5 is the one, I think, the latest one.